Mortal Kombat 1 becomes fully playable in less than 10 days, at least if you pre-ordered the premium edition or above. And honestly, even if you didn't, it's still less than a month away before we all finally get our hands on Mortal Kombat 1, which has me very excited, but also quite confused, because even though Mortal Kombat 1 is so close to releasing, there's a lot of stuff that we have no information on. For example, what's the deal with the customization? We know for a fact there's some level of customization in Mortal Kombat 1. The gear system has returned in some way or another, and yet even so, NetherRealm has said nothing about this, which is so bizarre because if you recall, when Mortal Kombat 11 first got revealed at the amazing over-the-top Mortal Kombat 11 reveal event that I was lucky enough to be invited to, one of the very first things they showed on stage was the customization for the characters. And that makes a lot of sense because customization is big in NetherRealm games. There's more customization in Mortal Kombat than there's ever been in Street Fighter, for example. Now that being said, Namco Bandai is still the king because Tekken and Soul Calibur have levels of customization that will never be topped. Those games are insane. But I digress. The point is, I'm still confused why NetherRealm is not bragging about the crazy levels of customization that Mortal Kombat 1 has. For example, it's already been confirmed through screenshots that characters have a bunch of different colors that you can equip. And we know that because of all the Invasion gameplay, so that's confirmed, but NetherRealm themselves have never shown a trailer or even a Combat Cast stream that showcases all the cool color customizations in Mortal Kombat 1. And guess what? On top of all the character colors, each character also has a bunch of costumes. Once again, we know this because of the Mortal Kombat trailers. For characters like Kenshi and Kung Lao, we've already seen 4 costumes. So yeah, there's gonna be a lot of costumes in Mortal Kombat 1. But again, where's the trailer showing all of this off? I think NetherRealm seriously has to start showing this stuff off because some characters like Tanya have not been very well received, and that could all be fixed if she had other costumes to show off. Because I think it's very likely that at least one of those costumes is a callback to one of Tanya's classic looks, so where is it, NetherRealm? Please show it off, everybody would love you for it. Now for me personally, I think most of the redesigns in Mortal Kombat 1 are really good. Sub-Zero looks awesome, Scorpion looks awesome, Johnny Cage, love it. I'm even a fan of Shao Kahn with his gigantic horns, but I'm just saying, surely out of all those different costumes, some of them are classic references to older appearances in former Mortal Kombat games. I can almost guarantee you that Shao Kahn has a more classic look, and Sindel has a more classic look, or at least I hope so. And because the gear system is less complicated in Mortal Kombat 1, chances are every character is gonna have at least 4 or 5 costumes, if not way more, like 10 or something. But real quick, I have a confession, alright? I don't like Havoc's look in Mortal Kombat 1. I know, everyone loves how he looks for some reason. I feel like the black sheep, because for some reason, I don't like Havoc's look in Mortal Kombat 1. It looks just, for me personally, it just doesn't look like Havoc. Instead, it looks like someone trying to cosplay Havoc last minute and they just grabbed random stuff in their house and put it on. So once again, I would love a classic look for Havoc, but here's some good news, okay? I'm going to show you how these costumes are actually unlocked in the game. And don't worry, don't freak out, it's not a leak. Instead, Mortal Kombat 1 has a lot of assets that can already be downloaded on the Xbox One S and the PS5. For example, you can already download Shang Tsung, and you can also download a bundle of Dragon Crystals if you want to. And these look very similar to Time Crystals, but instead you can use them to directly purchase costumes and gear for the characters in Mortal Kombat 1. And that has me excited as long as these aren't limited to the store. I hated the store in Mortal Kombat 11. I think enough time has passed that I can say that without being judged, because don't get me wrong, I love the idea of having a store that cycles through random outfits and gear that you can purchase whenever you want to when you log into the game. I get that it's a cool idea. The problem is it never had anything I wanted, and even worse, it kept cycling through the same gear pieces and same costumes for the same characters, so it never had anything that I wanted. And as a result, I'm just not a fan of the Mortal Kombat store unless NetherRealm finds a way to code it properly so it actually cycles through everything. But honestly, even then, I'd prefer an option to just buy whatever costume I want, just buy whatever gear piece I want for the character right away. Just let me have it my way, like Burger King. If I boot up Mortal Kombat 1 and I see a banger costume for Mileena, then I want to be able to buy it right away. I don't want to wait for it to appear in the store, so I hope that's an option. And then on top of that, I hope we also don't have to jump through a bunch of hurdles to unlock costumes anymore. Mortal Kombat 11 had a bunch of game modes, and to incentivize you to play those different game modes, NetherRealm locked a lot of cool costumes in those game modes. So for example, if you wanted one of Scarlet's best outfits, you had to do AI battles. And I hope that's not the case in Mortal Kombat 1. I'm hoping instead that there's several ways to unlock the costumes you want. So for example, if you beat the arcade ladder with Johnny Cage, you unlock a random costume. But also, if you prefer, while playing Invasion mode, you also have a random chance of unlocking a costume for Johnny Cage. And then finally, if you're playing online with Johnny Cage and you level him up, you have a chance of unlocking one of your favorite Johnny Cage costumes. That to me is the ideal way of handling costume unlocks in Mortal Kombat 1. However, that being said, I'm not an absolutist, and I would be okay if some costumes can only be unlocked in Invasion mode, but that's only because Invasion mode looks so ridiculously fun. Because the level of detail in the environments has me awestruck. I can't wait to walk through Adenia and see how it actually looks on the inside with all this amazing environment modeling and architecture. It's gonna be so cool. I've already seen a bunch of screenshots of new stages that we haven't gotten to play on yet, so I'm even more excited than I was before, and I was already pretty excited. But once again, I'm also concerned because just like the customization, guess what NetherRealm hasn't spent any time talking about yet? Invasion mode. That's right. Instead, they had the YouTubers do it. They let us play Invasion mode early and then said, hey, share it around, share the footage, which honestly might be the best way to promote something. Don't get me wrong, it's a great idea, and it might actually be the future of video game promotion, which is crazy to think about. I wonder if a couple of years from now, or maybe 5 years from now, video game companies just aren't going to pay for trailers anymore because they're just gonna have the YouTubers do it. It's definitely an interesting concept to think about, but I'm just saying, I would appreciate if NetherRealm had a Kombat cast stream that was just about Invasion mode. And I wish they would go all out with this, show us some stages that we haven't seen yet, like the inside of Outworld, or the inside of the Chaos Realm, or NetherRealm. That would be so sick, because so far we've only seen the happy stages in Mortal Kombat 11, and I can guarantee you there's some dark and metal stages in this game. I think that would be really cool and get a bunch of players excited, but once again, maybe NetherRealm is saving the Invasion mode trailer for the final launch day trailer. It sounds crazy unless the launch trailer is like 4 minutes long or 5 minutes long, which would not be out of the realm of possibility because I think Reptile's trailer was about that long. And I know it's called the Banished trailer, but let's be honest, we all refer to it as the Reptile trailer because he's the most hype part about that trailer. And in fact, Reptile might be the most hype thing about the game so far. I think his redesign, more than anyone else so far, has stolen the show and has yet to be beat. I don't think anybody is more hype than Reptile fans right now. But that being said, we still haven't seen the Natara trailer, and I still have my fingers crossed that she's gonna be in this game, and maybe her gameplay trailer is going to blow us all the way and be even better than Reptile's trailer. But once again, I'm getting off topic. There's one more thing I wanted to talk about. Is Kombat League going to be a thing in Mortal Kombat 1? Because so far, from what I've seen, it doesn't seem to be a thing in Mortal Kombat 1. Now don't freak out, there's likely still going to be a ranked matches mode. In fact, we already know that because of the beta, what am I saying? But my point is, I think instead you're going to level up each character individually. And the more matches you play, the more times you win, the faster your character levels up, and I bet each time you level up, you unlock something cool for the character. In fact, I think that's already been confirmed, but once again, is Kombat League going to be a thing? And let me know in the comments, do you want Kombat League to even come back? Because for me personally, I did not have a very fun time playing Kombat League. It was very cutthroat, very toxic, and everybody seemed to be so angry the entire time. And I think that's because everybody felt rushed, since they only had until the season was over to unlock all the costumes they wanted and reach that highest rank. And then on top of that, they were told originally that these skins would never come back, so if you didn't get it, then you would just never have it. And there's actually a word for that, it's called FOMA, the fear of missing out, and a bunch of companies use this to sell stuff. So when you combine all those things together, it kind of makes sense why Kombat League was so toxic, and as a result, I don't really want it to come back. Unless NetherRealm changes some things, like maybe for example, they remove the time limit, and instead all the costumes are always available. And hey, maybe they'll take my advice, and there'll be other ways to unlock the costume than just reaching that rank. Like for example, maybe every time you win or complete certain challenges, you get currency, and you can use that currency to purchase the costume instead. That would honestly be a really good idea, because even if players are losing, they'll keep on playing because they're still earning currency by completing challenges. And I think that's the biggest thing holding fighting games back, is that when people lose, they don't want to play anymore, unlike first-person shooters and other competitive video games. And that's because most games reward you even if you're losing. As long as you keep playing, you still get something. And as a result, I hope Mortal Kombat 1 has something cool like that. I don't think we need Kombat League, but if it comes back with some revisions, maybe it would be okay. But once again, like I mentioned earlier, please let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below. I really do read every single comment, even though there are hundreds on every single video. So if you've watched the video this far, then make sure to grab that keyboard and make your voices heard. And then while you're down there posting a lovely comment, if you enjoyed the video, please leave a like down below. It really does help my channel out a ton, and I sincerely mean that. And then finally, finish that combo by subscribing and ringing that bell, that way you never miss any future future videos. Make sure to come back next time, and as always, stay underdogs.